Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Angel of Words video podcast. Today, we have a very special guest near and dear to me, a person who has gone through a lot in the recent years, including a near-death experience. The person's name is Mr. Jonathan Kreuter, and today he will discuss what he has been through. Hello, Mr. Jonathan Kreuter, and welcome to the Angel of Words program here, the video podcast. It's good to have you. How have you been, man?
Very, very, very great. Thank you very much. Every day is a beautiful day for all of us.
Oh, truer words could have not been spoken. Now, John, we're here to talk about something very near and dear to you, the way that you have been able to overcome some of the things that have happened to you in the past few years. First and foremost, before we talk about what happened to you, could you let us know a little bit about what you were doing before you had the accident?
Well, I have worked for hotel companies for 20 plus years in sales and marketing as well. I was a director on both sides. I had hotels all over the world. I had hotels in 96 countries, more than 3,000 hotels selling to my clients. So I had to go all over the world to know the countries, the cities, the towns, so I could sell those better,
And you were directing all those hotels. You were the regional manager of some kind?
Yes.
Wow, that must have been insane.
Thank you very much. But I had a beautiful life even before I worked for hotels. I went to Stuyvesant High School, which is the #1 public high school in the United States. I went to Binghamton University and I graduated as a political science major. I even went to a second hotel company, college, university, in Switzerland as well. And I lived there. And then I worked for hotels. I worked for hotels in Thailand and in Prague, Czech Republic. And I've been all over the world, really. I talk a few different languages. I have family here, but in Mexico as well. And I've done a lot of great things.
So how many continents and countries do you think you've been to, roughly?
Well, I've been all throughout North America. I went to Central America as well. I went to South America as well. I went to Europe. I went to Asia. I also went to Eurasia, which is some countries between Europe and Asia. I've been all over. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Brazil. I've been to China. I've been to Paris. I've been to Dubai. I've been in French Polynesia, I've been many different places all the time.
But you ended up in Thailand.
Yes.
It was your last job in marketing and sales.
Yes.
How did you end up there?
Well,
what made you choose to leave New York and start a whole brand new life out there?
Well, I had a great years here in New York, but I was just ready to start something new. So I applied for a few hotel companies, and I was accepted to work in one in Thailand. So that's why I moved to start living there. And I didn't know if I would live there for a month, a year, 10 years. However it would happen, and I moved there at the beginning of 2011.
Wow. Now, John, in Thailand, you were not only working as a director of marketing for a hotel chain. From my knowledge, you were also DJing as well. You are the master of all crafts, huh?
Thank you, Angel. Yes, thank you. That's true. I like doing what I have to do to work, you know, but I also like doing things that are fun and relaxing and enjoying, you know, as well. And I was a DJ here in New York, but I also became a DJ in Thailand as well. I DJ'd every Friday nights in a brand new hotel at the roof on the 34th floor. And I DJ'd from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. So 6 hours every Friday night for 2 years. So it was a lot of fun as well.
When did you rest, man? When did you rest?
I rest in the taxi going home. Yeah.
Now, you know, while in Thailand, you know, you were, you know, working, you were moonlighting as a DJ, but then something happened to you.
Yes.
That changed the course of your life.
Yes, Angel, yes.
Could you discuss what happened to you on that fateful night in Thailand?
Well, I was I have lived there more than 4 years. I had a great time. One night, I was out with my friends. We had dinner. They played music. We danced. You know, we went to different places. It was a great time. And then it was the end of the evening, so it was time to go home. So I said, "Okay, good night, everyone. See you again very soon." And we all went home, and I was going to cross the street, you know, to start walking home, but there were many cars coming, so I stopped. And then when the cars stopped and I was able to cross the street, I started crossing the street. But what happened was there was not a car, not a truck, a tuk-tuk. That's a thing that they're using in Asia that didn't see me and I didn't see them, and it hit me, and it hit me very, very, very hard. I was 1% away from dying from that exact second.
Now, John, you're in Thailand. Did you have family there at the moment? You were there alone, essentially.
I was by myself. My friends went home already. My family, they all live here in the United States and in Mexico. And Thailand is half the world away from New York. To take a flight from here to Thailand, it's 19 hours. Right here, it's 2 p.m. on Sunday. So there, it's 3 a.m. on Monday. Right now, 13 hours difference. It's really half the world away. So, and also, when I was out with my friends, it was a Wednesday night, May 1st, 2015, but it actually had to be a 4-day holiday weekend. Everything was closed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because it's a Thai holiday. And so I was not, they were not waiting for me to go to work the next day, and, you know, no one knew where I was.
So you were essentially missing that whole time.
I was missing for 5 days.
You were missing for 5 days. Your mother hadn't heard from you. What happened? When did your mother hear from you? Like, you know, how did she get in contact with you? Where'd they send you?
Well, when I was hit by the tuk-tuk, thank God, he called the ambulance and they took me straight to a hospital. But again, since it was a 4-day weekend, there were not any doctors or nurses there that did nothing. So they just let me in the bed for 4 days, from Wednesday night until Monday morning. And then Monday morning, they took my wallet out of my jeans. They took my card out, saw my phone number in my company I was working for. They called him and they said, "Good morning. Jonathan is in our hospital. He's been here for the last few days. So pick him up, please. And you have to pay us this much money. Have a nice day." And that's how people found out 5 days later where I was and what happened to me. Because I was hit Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I was supposed to visit my friends to go to an island for the 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there. So they said, "Where's Jonathan?" They called me. I didn't pick up the phone. They went to my home. I was not there. They didn't know where I was. So 150 people were looking for me. They put pages up on Facebook and other websites, and no one knew where I was.
Now, when did your mother get out there?
Well, when they called my company Monday morning, then they called one of my friends there in Bangkok, Thailand, where I lived, and they called my mom. And that's why my mom actually found out what happened to me, and she couldn't believe that happened to me 4 or 5 days earlier. And what happened was I was hit May 1st, 2015. But 2 weeks earlier, I was here in Thailand because for 2 weeks every year, I come to visit my family and my city. So my mom was with me, and then 2 weeks later, I was at zero. She couldn't believe the difference. What happened?
Now, they moved you to another hospital, correct? They had to move you to a better trauma center. I would imagine you were at a local hospital and they had to take you to a facility with a better capability of dealing with what just happened to you, correct?
When they called my mom and they told her what happened, she called our family in Mexico and they told all of them what happened to me as well. Now, in Thailand, we have many friends as well as our family. But actually, one friend of ours, Mexican, we met him here in New York in the 1980s because he used to live here with his wife and his 2 kids for a few years. But he had to leave because in the 1990s, he was picked by Mexico to be an ambassador in Thailand. And he moved to Thailand and he lived there for 5 years as the ambassador and the first ambassador ever from Mexico living there. Now, they called him, told him what happened, so he called the Thai king. Thailand doesn't have a president or nothing. They're under the king. And the king has been king there for 67 years. He was made king May 5th, 1960. So, I mean, he's a high king.
Some real strings had to be pulled in order to get things happening.
Yes.
And get you some service.
Yes.
Because, essentially you were in a coma.
I was. What happened was the king called the 5th highest woman in all of Thailand with the most money to help me. And she called her 3 sons to pick me up on Monday right away. So they did. They saw I was in a bad hospital. So what they did was they sent 7 limousines, trucks, police. They closed many streets.
They sent a caravan for you.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
To pick me up. And they moved me right away to one of the highest hospitals in all of Thailand. And
they paid for you to get out as well because they were asking for money essentially
well,
as well,
yes,
correct?
yes.
Oh, wow.
And when they took me right to the other better hospital, they saw me and they said, oh, my God, Jonathan was hit 5 days ago. He could die 2 minutes from now, 10 seconds. We have to give him a surgery right now. And they did. And that surgery was on my brain. And that was 5.5 hours.
A 5.5 hour surgery on your brain. And I remember, your mother giving me a call, actually, during that time because she needed a visa to get to Thailand because you just can't go to Thailand. You need to be cleared with a visa to go to Thailand.
Exactly.
And, you had a friend called Noon
yes.
who worked at the Thai embassy at the time.
Exactly.
And, I was able to get in contact with her and get your mother in contact with her to get the visa, to get you, to she can get out there.
Yes.
And then you got caravanned over to the big hospital, did a 5-hour surgery. And then after that, how long did it take before you came back to the U.S.? Because I know that the doctors out there may not be as advanced with traumatic brain injuries as they are in the United States of America.
Well, after the surgery, I was unconscious for 12 days. And then when I woke up, I could not talk. I could not walk. I could not eat. They put feeding tubes through my nose to my stomach. I lost 35 pounds to 120 pounds only. I was very skinny. and they had to tie my whole body, my stomach, my arms, legs with locks to the bed because I was yelling and screaming because I was under traumatic brain injury, which made me feel completely different than I've ever felt before. I stayed in that hospital in Thailand for 3 months, and I took a second surgery for another 3 hours as well. And then finally, in August, I came back to the United States, and we went straight to Atlanta, where my sister lives, and I was in another hospital there, Shepherd Center, for another 7 weeks. And in that hospital, I started walking a little. I started eating just a little again, and I started talking just a little as well. And then finally, in September 21st, 2015, I came back to New York, and I've been to New York since then.
Now, John, you were a person who did karate, DJ'd. You also were a fan of the arts, so you did some amateur photography before. You did some painting. You were a big reader. Now you have to learn all these things all over again.
I had to learn them again because I could not do them again. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
And the doctors probably said that it probably would never happen again.
Well, when I was hit by the tuk-tuk, I was hit on the right side of my brain, and I hit the floor on the left side of my brain. So my brain was hit very, very hard, and my right eye came out of the socket. They didn't even know if I'd be able to see again, and my left ear was very close to breaking off. They didn't know if I'd be able to hear again. So they didn't know really how I would be in the days, weeks, months, years that come. And of course, I didn't know either. But I wanted to do things just to become a regular person again. And I started, but it took a long time to do any of them.
Could you describe what it was like enduring that rehab? And where did you do it? At NYU Medical Center? Where was the most of the rehab taking place?
Well, when I came back to New York, I started a few different things. I have traumatic brain injury. The other way, it's TBI. And there's many millions of people that actually have that. In the United States, every year, there's 1,700,000 people that get TBI each year. Only in the United States. So around the world, there's even more. And so it's an important thing to know what they are and how they make people be when they do have it. For me to start getting better again, I started taking therapies. I go to New York University 3 days a week. I also go to the Lighthouse Guild for another mind therapy there as well. I also took piano classes again. I have been playing piano since I was 7 years old. But when my accident happened, I could not play piano. I could not do nothing. So I take piano classes again now, and I'm actually playing piano again very good. I play Bach songs now, classical songs.
Oh, wow.
I talk English much better now. I'm talking with you. And
yes.
I even talk Spanish again as well, and I talk a few different languages as well. I did before, but I couldn't. But now I'm able to again because I worked on everything. There's a woman that comes to see me 6 hours every week for me to start reading books again. But when I started to do that 2.5 to 3 years ago, I had to start reading a book that were people in the kindergarten were reading. I couldn't read books even harder than that. But I got a little bit better, better books, better words to read, to know what they actually mean, etc., etc. And also, traumatic brain injury makes things, inside of me that no people know that's inside of me. For example, Angel, I cannot taste nothing.
So you have no sense of taste right now, or low sense of taste?
Zero taste.
Zero taste. Okay.
I can close my eyes. You can give me milk on my left hand to drink and orange juice on my right hand, and my closed eyes, and I drink those. I say, Jonathan, what are they? And I will say, this is iced tea, I think, and this must be, it's apple sauce, apple juice. And I'm completely wrong, but I cannot taste, so I don't know what they are, and I cannot smell nothing as well. I cannot smell nothing, cologne, deodorant, nothing. But I can hear people 6 streets away on their phones very loudly.
Wow. So you have like a heightened sense of hearing.
Exactly.
Like a dog, essentially.
Well,
wow.
yes, but a human being,
Yeah. Wow.
But the reason is because everybody has 5 senses. Eyes, nose, mouth, taste. And with some go down, others go up to compensate. And that's another thing that happened to my body, you see. And then what also happened to my brain through traumatic brain injury is I can tell you, Angel, we can go for dinner tonight. Oh, Jonathan, what type of food do you love eating? Oh, I love eating soup. I love vegetables. Oh, I love eating carrots. Oh, and mushrooms. And I can't tell you the other vegetable I love eating because I don't know that word. I can tell you you're wearing a beautiful blue shirt, a beautiful black shoes. Oh, and your socks are beautiful. I love that color socks that are, and I can't say that color. I talk perfectly for 20 minutes, but then I get to one sentence and I can't say that one word. I can tell you right now what I did for homework when I was in the 5th grade, but I cannot tell you what I ate for breakfast this morning. Short-term, long-term memory.
Yeah.
And even if you tell me what color that is, for me to remember that, I have to write it down.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you ask me that color 3 minutes later, I can't remember that. And when I write it down, I don't write them rightly. That's even hard for me to read with the right letters. Hello, H-I-L-O? No, H-E-Y-O? Wait, H-E... I don't know how to write words sometimes rightly. So things are all in me now that I am completely different than how I was before.
But John, you have overcome and gotten to a point where you're actually able to live in society relatively normal, and that's a big deal. NYU believes is a big deal because you have been doing things for NYU that a lot of other people have not been able to do that have suffered traumatic brain injury. Could you discuss, how you and NYU have been corresponding and partnering up to give people some faith in what happens to them when they undergo these things?
Well, thank you just for feeling that way, and I feel the same. I'm very blessed just being alive, and the truth is my life now is a beautiful life. I love my life for the last 39 years, but I also love my new life now because I do important, beautiful things. For example, at New York University, they asked me to talk to many of their master's degree students there that will be graduated to be therapists when they're ready. But it's one thing for them to listen to their teachers. It's one thing for them to read books in their classes, but to hear people that have traumatic brain injury and hear their side, it's important for those to know that side. And that's why I talked to almost 200 master's degree students at New York University, and they still want me to do that more and more. I was actually even picked to be interviewed by the CBS News, and I did with Dr. Max Gomez, and then I was even put in a newspaper as well, and I was also interviewed in Spanish by the Spanish news show Univision Noticias. I mean, that's why what I went through and how I went through that and lived and what I'm doing now, it's very important for many people to know that side. And that's why people have asked me to talk to many students, many teachers, to tell them what happens to millions of other people all the time. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm very happy I'm doing that.
John, and we're very thankful because to be completely honest, that's very inspiring. We live in a society where a lot of people, they want to complain and blame others for things that they can't do. You've been blessed with a lot of skill, and you've also been taken away from having all those skills. Those skills have been taken away from you, and you had to motivate yourself to try to become yourself again. You had to essentially, like the Phoenix, reincarnate yourself.
Yes.
So, for people going through bad times and people that are going through a discourse where like it's inexplicable and hardships that they feel that they're going to suffocate through and not survive, you are an inspiration. You show them that it takes will, it takes your human spirit, it takes the wanting, the needing, the love, the passion to become what you want to become, no matter what happens to you. And that is something that, as a human being, I respect, because it's not easy. We go through a lot mentally. And for you to be able to reincarnate yourself and still have a respect and a love for life the way you did before you got into the accident, it's inspiring. Now,
thank you, Angel.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And what I love the most out of all the things that you have been able to accomplish on your way back is your artwork. I got to be honest. I remember that you told me to go to the 96th Street Library.
Yes.
I don't know if it's on Lexington and Park. I forget. Or I think
96th Street between Lexington and Park.
Between Lexington and Park, one of the most beautiful libraries that we have here in New York City. If you haven't been there, you should go there because it's absolutely gorgeous.
That library has been open more than 100 years ago.
It is a staple of that neighborhood. A lot of people from that area have been able to educate themselves and progress forward because of that library.
Yes, thank you.
And you have been privileged enough to have your photographs all over that library.
For 11 months.
For 11 months, your photographs have been there. Has photography and art been essential to your recovery? How essential has it been?
Well, basically, I told you I worked for hotel companies for 20 plus years, but I don't work for them anymore. I can, but it's not inside of me what I want to do. To just get better, I started to do some things to feel better. Some things I've done before and some things I've never done before as well. For example, I'm now a photographer. I've taken pictures in the past, but I don't take them how I take them now. Different and interesting photographs I take. And also, I have become a painter as well. I never painted before. But I have been taking a piano class with a teacher for a long time, and it's part of therapy for me just to stop reading what I'm thinking at that time and just paint and relax, and whatever's inside of me comes out. You know, even playing piano again, it's therapy. Just, I don't have to think about what I have to do. I just play. And that's part of me now. I am now an artist, you see. Actually, I put my pictures in the library. I've had a few exhibitions as well. I even started my own website, and I started my own company as well. I'm Jonathan Kreuter, and my company is Kreuter Art and Design. And actually, many people have purchased my photos and paintings because they like them, and they like very much what I'm doing now because they've known me many years before, and they know me now, and they see the difference. And so it makes me very, very, very happy even just doing that.
Wow. So people are actually coming out and purchasing your artwork now.
Yes,
and
yes.
that's your new profession now.
Yes, yes.
Now, how much do your pieces go for?
Well, all different prices because they're all different sizes. Some of my photos, they're 6 inches, and others are 3 foot long. Paintings as well. Some paintings, it takes me half an hour to paint it, and others, it's 28 hours, and some of them are in only two color paints, and others are in 25 different color paints, and photos are different as well. I take pictures of things in the city, but I also take pictures in the mountains, in ranches, animals, flowers, suns, the moon, etc., etc. My photos are about $150 to buy those, and my paintings start about $50 and from the smaller ones and much bigger than that. And actually, people have purchased my photos and paintings throughout the United States and 6 different countries around the world as well. So really, I'm very, very blessed just even seeing how I am right now and how I was just 4.5 years ago when I was at 0. The difference makes me really feel very, very happy inside of myself.
Now, John, I've been blessed enough to be able to see you and the progression of your artwork from the beginning of the good part of your recovery to now. And I must say, your artwork, it's very pretty. It's very it's very luminous to the eyes. What motivates you to make such pieces? Because it's really, really quality artwork. And you didn't go to school for this.
No.
This is something that you've learned essentially on your own on your way back.
Yes. Well, thank you for feeling that way, and that's the truth. No one showed me how to become a photographer. I showed myself. I'm walking outside, and I see things that other people see them as well, but they don't stop at all. I stop, and then I think about what I'm seeing, and I take pictures to remember that. But I don't take regular pictures. I go to the floor and very close. If I see you right now, I can take a picture of your whole body, but the next picture is only your left eye very close as well. Sometimes, if it's raining outside, I go out to take pictures of the raindrops going down. If it's snowing, I just put a bigger jacket on and I take pictures of the snow going down.
New Yorkers don't like to stop for anything,
well,
but you actually
I don't
do.
either. Yes, I like it very much.
Yeah, no, you actually take your time to look at the nooks and crannies of the city that never sleeps.
Well,
and
exactly.
I respect that. You've always been that way since I've known you. You look at things in a different way, from a different perspective. You find the most basic thing and find the beauty in it. And I guess that's what you're telling us that your art encompasses, the things that get overlooked.
Thank you very much.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. And many people, when they hear my side, they think about that side and they say, Jonathan, thank you for telling us that side, because I never really think that way. But if I look at this picture from the broken glass, and I think it's interesting because that glass was made in a window 15 years ago, and makes you think what you didn't think just 2 minutes earlier. And they really like that side of living, and I do as well very much.
Now, John, you have been able to do some great work here in New York. You know, you've done the NYU thing. You know, are you going to continue doing seminars? I mean, what's next for Jonathan Kreuter?
Well, it's a good question. A few things. Yes, I will continue talking to by TV shows, interviewing myself and newspapers, magazines, websites, videotapings, but also I talk to people I see, like when I'm waiting for the subway, I see a woman on a wheelchair that it's hard for him to even go down the steps. So I stop and I give him my arm and I help him. And he's very happy and thank you very much. And that's why I don't have to do that, but I want to and I do them. And it makes them very happy. And other people, all of you should do that as well. I'm going to continue taking many photos and sell those as well, and also do many paintings as well because I enjoy those and people enjoy having them also. And I go back and forth between here and Mexico as well because my whole family is from Mexico, and it looks like in the future I will start living there as well. But I lived in different countries, so that's another chapter for me in my huge book that will open in the future that comes.
Now, speaking about Mexico, you also went to Mexico for a little bit of therapy.
Yes.
Therapy that not a lot of people know about. Therapy that helped you.
Yes.
Get back to this amazing species that you've become. I don't even know what to call you, man, because when you get reincarnated, like, you're like something else now.
Thank you.
But yeah, could you discuss, the therapy that the holistic treatment that you went through and undertook out in Mexico?
Yes. In Mexico, I go to different places, but one I go to is a city called Aguascalientes. And there's a clinic called Neo Samad. That's a therapy clinic. And they help myself and many, many other people that go there for a long time. When I go there, there's a woman that sits down and we look at pictures, and those are pictures of animals, and I have to say what they are. Oh, that's a dog. That's a horse. That's a bird. And if I don't know it, they help me to understand. So they tell me only the first letter of that type of animal. Okay, B. Okay, and I have to think B, and I have to say to myself, okay, it's not a bird. It's not a beef. It's not a and I have to think, and finally, after 2 minutes, I say, "Oh, it's a fish," and I know it. And then also, they talk to me as well. Jonathan, what did you do yesterday? And I have to tell them so I can remember what I did. Well, after breakfast, I walked outside to the park. And then I was there for 1 hour. And then I went here and there to remember what I'm doing so I can know. And other people can know if they ask me, and I can answer those questions. And they do mind therapy as well, just to take things inside of me, and it's a beautiful, beautiful clinic as well. And they helped me to even start Spanish again, because when I went there, I couldn't even talk English very well, and they couldn't really. They would try to tell me what to do, and I really didn't understand, and I couldn't answer. And so I'm working on many, many things there, and they have helped me very much. In Mexico, there's many millions of people that have traumatic brain injury, but they don't really have many clinics anywhere that are helping those people. So I'm trying to help them as well because it's very important for everyone.
I'm thinking you go to Mexico and you get holistic treatment, and there's like, indigenous people around you with smoke and special leaves and things of that nature.
Yes.
But no, this was actually good science, good therapy. You know, nothing magical. Just your effort and people there supporting you and trying to get your brain back to par.
Thank you.
Now, what would you tell people, John, you know, before this magical interview ends? What would you tell people?
Tell people
that are fighting in any endeavor.
Okay. I would tell you two sides. There's some things that I have to tell people that have traumatic brain injury, but also I have to tell a few things to regular people, including you, other friends, families that who is in their lives have happened to me. You see, you don't have traumatic brain injury, but I do. And we're friends for many, many, many years. But I have to know what I have to do to be better, but you have to also know what you have to do to be a close friend for me. And the thing is, I didn't have traumatic brain injury before, but you didn't have anyone in your life that has traumatic brain injury as well. So it's new for me, but it's also new for you and many other people as well. So there's different sides that are important to know. First of all, I would just tell people that have TBI, more than anything, you are alive. That's more important than anything. If it takes a day, a month, a year to get better on a few things, that will happen. Don't worry. Just be very blessed because you're here. And that's exactly how I feel. And on your side, it's also good just to know what traumatic brain injury means. What's the definition? If people say, I have traumatic brain injury, people say, oh, what does that mean? What type of food you want to eat for lunch? I don't know. People don't know what that means, but millions of people do have that. So really, they have to know what that means to people that have that and what they should do to help themselves and to help yourselves, your own selves, to be better being with those people and being yourselves as well.
Jonathan Kreuter, a testament to the fortitude of the human spirit. God bless you, pal. Let us know before you leave right now where we can find your art, how we can find you on social media. Bless the mic.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Jonathan Kreuter, and I started my company that's Kreuter Art and Design. And I have a website that you can see my pictures and paintings, and of course you can buy them, but even just to enjoy them as well. So my website is www.kreuter-art-design.com. So please visit that whenever you can. And of course, be in touch with me and I can meet you and show them in front of you those beautiful things, which I enjoy just even doing them, and people enjoy them as well. So it makes me very, very happy. And thank you, Angel, for interviewing me and helping other people to know our side, not only my side, our side, because it's really important. And I hope all of you enjoyed listening to me as well. Really, every day is a beautiful day for all of us because we are alive, we are blessed, and every day is just beautiful every day.
And I want to thank you, sir, because you have been a critical part of my life in terms of making me be inspired about not only life, about the things that I'm doing, about, always keeping that energy positive. You've helped mold and reprogram my mind in a way that I feel is going to make me go places that I never thought I would reach. And I've always felt that way about you. And I appreciate your company and your friendship. And I really look forward to the future and what things are in store for us moving forward.
And I feel the same for your life and your future that's coming as well. And everyone has beautiful future coming, and every day is beautiful because doors open all the time and many things are opening for us to do, and we will do that all the time as well. So again, thank you, Angel, very much.
Welcome, sir.
Yes.
That's Jonathan Kreuter. This is the Angel of Word Show. Peace out. Today we have had the privilege of speaking to Jonathan Kreuter, a person who has overcome a lot of negativity in his life and has been able to reincarnate himself and make himself something and someone in his life after being something and someone in his life. And my message to my people out there who are listening or watching, I just want to let you know that you can do everything that this man is doing yourself. Regardless of what your situation is in life, you have to stay focused on what you need to do and stay positive. Every day is a beautiful day. Every day you wake up, you need to thank God and move forward and make things happen for yourself, because we only live one life. And if we waste it, we'll never get to know where we should have ended up. My name is Angel of Words. I'll see you guys later.